Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, we will be talking about CAT, Computerized Adaptive Test. The characteristics of CAT. The CAT, Computerized Adaptive Test, applies to both the verbal and math section on the GMAT. The CAT system randomly selects questions from the central test bank, providing students with questions based on their difficulty levels. Accordingly, students usually receive questions at the right difficulty level without too many extremely easy or extremely difficult questions. The first question is always a medium-level difficulty question. Before moving on to a next question, the CAT scores each question based on both the student's answer and the length of time taken per question. Students usually get progressively more difficult questions if they answer previous questions correctly. But getting easy questions doesn't always mean that students answered previous questions incorrectly. Also, the CAT doesn't allow students to skip questions or go back to previously answered questions. Be careful not to miss the first question. The CAT is adaptive to each student, so he or she will get different questions based on their answer choices. However, the types of questions appearing on the GMAT remain the same. Some students claim that it is important to do well in the early part of the exam to get higher scores. However, it is more important to do well over the whole course of the exam. Also, finishing the exam is important. Be sure to leave no questions unanswered because there are penalties for unanswered questions. Therefore, guess your answers if you run out of time. Guessing answers for up to 5 questions would actually help your overall score. Of course, guessing answers for 10 questions is not right. Overcoming the CAT. Set a 5-minute deadline for unsolved questions. This is the best way to deal with the CAT. If students get answers incorrect consecutively, their overall score is affected. Also, it is important to leave enough time for difficult questions later in the exam where you can solve easy questions in 1 to 1.5 minutes. Therefore, make it a habit to solve unsolved questions with a maximum of 5 minutes. If you cannot arrive at the answer within this time limit, consider just guessing the answer and moving on to the next question. I'm sure there are lots of guessing tips. Here is just my personal advice on guessing. 1. For DS questions, pick the most likely answer based on the analysis of the original condition according to the variable approach. 2. For PS questions, whenever guessing, choose just one letter from A, B, C, D, or E and answer all questions with the same letter whenever you don't know the answer. This is one of the effective ways to take advantage of probability of the correct answer rate. 3. For RC questions, focus on the main purpose and primary purpose questions. Whenever guessing, choose just one letter from A, B, C, D, or E and answer all questions with this same letter whenever you don't know the answer. 4. For CR questions, whenever guessing, choose just one letter from A, B, C, D, or E and answer all questions with this same letter whenever you don't know the answer. For SC questions, many people say that one of the most common guessing tips is to choose the shortest answer among the answer choices, and choose just one letter from A, B, C, D, or E and answer all questions with this same letter whenever you don't know the answer. If there are questions you cannot answer, it is important to choose the same answer for all of them. These are pieces of advice. You can deploy any guessing style that works for you, or you can use your instincts while guessing. Also, you can eliminate some unlikely answer options to increase the likelihood of guessing correctly. Reading the ESR. After taking the GMAT, students receive the option to receive the ESR, Enhanced Score Report. To check and diagnose the current competence for the exam, students should take advantage of the information provided by the ESR. 1. On the ESR, the verbal and math sections are each divided into 4 parts. If students have more correct answers in the first part, they usually have higher overall scores. 2. Therefore, students should get as many correct answers as possible in the first part. However, since higher difficulty questions usually appear in the latter part of the exam, and these questions usually count more per question, getting these difficult questions correct increases the overall score more effectively. 3. If a student's likelihood of getting correct answers is low in the first part, their likelihood for correct answers should be over 80% in the second and the third parts to increase the overall score. 4. The difficulty level appearing on the ESR should be above average to get high overall scores. 5. It is important to do well on SC and RC questions appearing in the beginning part of the verbal section to get high scores. However, do not dismiss CR questions. You should carefully examine the ESR before planning a study schedule for the next exam. Focus on your weaknesses.